Welcome back, divers. I am Cosmic.
I'm Shanda.
What you've been following the trial mostly. What do you have on the latest report?
It's like, who is not following the trial of the century? I'm
following a little bit, but
is absolutely fascinating. First of all, I want to say this whole thing, Diddy kind of gives the John Gotti reincarnate, the Teflon Don. He kind of gives that. That's what I'm getting from this whole thing. And I say that because Diddy, there's so many men in particular, black and white and Mexican and all of those alike, are all kind of gravitating toward Diddy.
Black men mostly,
but okay. And it's like, okay, Diddy is admired by many, feared by some, and just loved by others, even though they've heard all of these vile, disgusting, violent details. They so badly want to turn around and put it on Cassie.
And that's what's crazy to me, because I can understand the admiration, because it's almost like, it's like, does this dude have some special kind of power or something we're not aware of?
Evil power.
I know, but still, it's fascinating. Mm-hmm. But to the point where you're going to disregard morals, if you have them, facts that we've seen it. We've seen him dragging Cassie down the hallway in that hotel. We've seen him jumping on her and then talking about, come on, get up, babe, let's go walk on the beach. A second later, it's almost like we've seen this crazy shit. And yet and still, Cassie's a whore. Cassie's a sweet, don't let a sweet face fool you. She can be just as evil.
They're saying some horrible things.
They're saying some horrible things, completely disregarding that she's an abusive victim. Completely disregarding.
But they don't even believe she's a victim. They don't even believe it. They don't even believe that, why didn't she walk away? Well, she stayed. That's on her. And I've also heard people say that Cassie was with all of it. She was with it. Did you hear those text messages saying she wanted to have a freak off too? She was with it. Why is he on trial for this? There was no racketeering. There was no sex trafficking. All I see is a domestic violence case, and he's not being sued for that. So free Diddy.
And that's so crazy to me, because of course she's, do you want to have a freak off tonight? You know what you're gonna get if you say no. I don't know, I don't really feel like. And next thing you know, you're getting your ass whooped like you're in the octagon on pay-per-view.
Well, keep it right. Keep in mind, Cassie was the one on occasion sending Diddy text messages saying, do you want to have a freak off tonight?
Right.
And Diddy would say, yeah, who do you want to get? I don't know. Let me do the homework on it.
I'll play devil's advocate for a second. Is there a part of whatever they had going on, did Cassie have some type of enjoyment from whatever was happening with the abuse, the freak offs, this whatever connection she presumed they had? What did that somehow play a part in it? I'm sure it did, because it's just hard for me to think, like, how can somebody put up with something like this if they're not getting something from it, as bad as it got a lot of the time based on what we've heard. And so I'm sure Cassie did enjoy some of it. She could just be one of those people who enjoys abuse, whether that's something she can ever admit or not. It says something, it means something to her.
Well, I want to say something to that before we move on. Okay. Do you know how some people say negative attention
is better than
no attention at all?
Right.
I think, of course, I don't know, but based on what I've heard and I have kind of processed, is that Cassie loved Diddy, okay? Without question. And they were always with an entourage. If they weren't with an entourage, they were doing freak offs. So there were only certain times that she actually had time to spend with him by themselves. These abusive times were one of them. Because nobody wants to be around that shit. And it was something that he always did behind closed doors for the most part. Okay, some people did witness some things, but for the most part. And what I think is she kind of, although they were horrific, she may have valued it in the weirdest way. Because when someone loves someone and they're reaching, they do some really awful things. A lot of us women can attest to that. Number two, she wanted Diddy to think, oh yeah, my baby's down no matter what. Right. So when all of these text messages and communications that are going back and forth with her talking about I had a lot of dicks last night and all that stuff. I think this is just, you guys, you can crucify me if you want to, but I really believe that she was doing that to give the impression that I'm your bottom bitch. I am going to do whatever you need me to do and want me to do, because my main goal in this life is to make you happy. Whatever that means. Even if that means degrading myself. I'm going to do it because I want favor from you.
That's crazy.
And there was this broad named Gina that he was messing with, right? We all heard about her. So she was jealous of her. So in a young mind, just say, or hell, even an old one, not to an unevolved mind, I'll say.
A 19-year-old mind.
Yes, you're thinking, how can I put myself above Gina? Because I'm his bottom bitch. I want him to know that I'm his bottom bitch and to treat me like that. So what can I do to solidify my position? Okay. Now, some people may disagree with that. It's just what I have seen, heard, and processed. This is what I think about this whole thing. No matter how salacious and disgusting those acts were, there's some weird, messed up thought in this girl's head that she was doing what she thought she needed to do to gain his love and to gain his favor.
But is it worth it though?
To her it was in that moment.
But I mean, I guess it's almost like you're 19, 20, 22, in that range, and in the time she's dealing with Diddy, it's almost like you're experiencing things you probably never thought you'd experienced or always hoped you would. So it's so hard because I can understand it, but the chaos of it all, you're experiencing not even your worst nightmare. It's a nightmare you couldn't even imagine, and all the dreams you hoped for all at once. And that's intense. Like, that's an intense, thing for my brain to, really soak, because it's almost like I always try to put myself in any situation I'm, trying to analyze and go over. I try to put myself in the other person's shoes. And, I'm just a person, I don't want shit that bad. Not that bad. Now, now we were just boxing it out, that's one thing. But just to hear all of the stuff that's coming out between the freak offs, the escort hookups with the pee and the punting her head like a football. You know, they're at a group event and he takes her into the bathroom and completely bodies the girl. And she comes out she comes out looking like a Raggedy Ann doll. And you know, it's just like there's just so I can't fucking imagine. Not to mention he's terrorizing everybody you know and love. So now you are in a position where you feel like, okay, I need to protect my family. I need to protect my friends. I need to protect acquaintances. And you never say, like, you never have that for yourself is what's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's some shit.
I want to go back to what you were saying earlier. You know, or what we were saying earlier. I think people lose sight of the fact that Cassie's not the only victim. There are many victims. Cassie just happens to be the one that they are trying right now.
Right.
Okay. And I think as far as them not thinking Diddy should be free, the Free Diddy campaign, I'm not sure where that's coming from, because they're claiming, I don't see no racketeering, I don't see no sex trafficking. I don't think they realize, and the people who are saying this may not be following, and that's possible. But what I believe them to be doing, they are oiling and priming the wheels, pun intended, because they want to show the jury that this is a horrible, vile, disgusting, violent person. Okay? Everybody's saying, what does this have to do with racketeering? They're setting the stage. Because once you have solidified this thought process that this is a terrible son of a gun, everybody now believes that. So no matter how weak that racketeering and sex trafficking evidence might be, you've already won the game, because they now already know this is a terrible person. He disgusts me. What if this was my daughter? Can you imagine him doing such terrible things? He's a horrible person. We need to throw him under the jail. So give them one little reason to convict, and they're going to convict. This is what they're doing. And I think it's so foolish of the viewers and the watchers to believe we're only in the 8th or 9th day, and they think that all of it is said and done. He's going to get off. There's no charge. I've always heard the feds don't come after you unless they got you. So we just have to sit back, wait, and see. But the one thing that had me just gagged was when Kid Cudi was talking about their interaction. About
whose interaction?
Him and Diddy.
Yeah. About
blowing up the car, about Diddy breaking into his house, opening up his Christmas presents. But the kicker to me was when they finally sat down to talk. He said, yeah, man, so what's up with my car? What are you going to do about that? He's like, I don't know what you mean. Okay? I was like, Diddy's cold-blooded, boy. He is a smooth operator. He really is. And I think that's the allure that people are feeling about Diddy. I was like, Diddy's a cold piece, boy. He really is.
And that's kind of how I felt when he did the whole breaking into his house thing. You know,
like what's up?
Like yeah, put the dog in the bathroom, drug the dog and put him in the bathroom, opening presents, moving shit, just to show him, you know, I can get in here, just so you know. Fuck around and find out. And so I felt that very same thing. to what you were speaking about earlier, you said you don't think people are watching the trial or keeping up with the trial who are saying, you know, Diddy's innocent, this and that. There's no racketeering charges. You don't think Boosie's keeping up with the trial? Because Boosie said that, oh, you know what this looks like to me? Could they get him for domestic violence? They could.
But that's not what he's on trial for.
He said this was a regular relationship with two freaky people that had its ups and downs. That shit is insane. That's what you call up and down?
But it's not about, but this is what I'm saying. It's not about the relationship. It is the only reason that relationship was put in front of the world is because they are trying to tell these people in this jury box that this is a terrible person. Therefore, when I bring this evidence forward, you're going to just say, yep, guilty.
And we get that point. I get that point that you made earlier. What I'm saying is it's the psychology of all of these men who are supporting Diddy.
Oh, God.
They don't give a good goddamn about the severity of horror and violence and shit that was going on.
You're absolutely correct.
They said, he turned around and said, that's just a regular relationship with ups and downs.
What kind of relationship?
Two freaks. Yeah. That's the mentality this person carries.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough because it's so far more than that. And you know what? Another thing too is that it's almost like Diddy is known for R-ing people.
Yeah.
Men and women alike.
Yeah.
He is known for drugging people.
Right.
He's known for battering and being violent against people. He's well known for this. And if you didn't know, you know now. So why are people so quick to just kind of ignore those facts?
They don't care.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, they just don't care. No matter if it's a money grab or anything to that effect. You know, you have a person here who's lawless. Absolutely lawless. And they love it. They love his lawlessness more than they are appalled by it.
Kind of like Trump.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like
It's exactly
Trump.
The same.
And even in that, I understand the allure. Trump has come into politics and has completely flipped it on its head. He's done and is doing things no one has ever done before, and he's doing it lawlessly.
Yeah,
it's admirable that you have this much power over people. And you know, like and Trump knows it. He said, I can shoot one of my supporters dead in the street, on whatever street, and they would all cheer. On Fifth Avenue, and they would all cheer. And nobody got upset by it. Nobody was like, I wouldn't, you know, they were just like, yeah, that's crazy as hell. And I there's a part of me that loves it. You know, there's a part of me that loves it. I can admire power when I see it. But I have some form of a moral, you know, compass. And people like Trump and Diddy, man, you know, but you know, it's a story as old as time in reality. It's just how, if the story is true, but it's a tale as old as time. Just how the people would have rather had a known murderer out in their midst.
Released, yeah.
And murder Jesus.
Yep.
So
replace him with Jesus. That's right.
It's a tale as old as time. This is just...
What's his name? Barnabas,
Barbarius, something like that. It's a story it's a story as old as time, and you know, I believe if the Bible said nothing else true, it said that man is wicked in his heart, and that's the God's honest truth. You know, people are wicked, and then they claim righteous, and it's crazy to me.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And you know, too, listening to his assistant testify was interesting, and the fact that nobody stepped in whenever they witnessed these attacks on Cassie. No one ever stepped in. And does that, I mean, bring in some moral question? It does. But then I try to put myself in that position too and think, would I do anything? Would I say anything? And you know what? I probably wouldn't, because I kind of feel like this person has a mind of their own. This person seems to be happy when they're not in these situations. I don't think I would have. As bad as that might sound, I don't think I would have said anything either. I'm trying to keep my little job. I don't think I would have said anything, because only for her to just go back to him and now you're out of a job and they go on a business as usual. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him for not doing anything. And I hated that damn prosecutor was like, and you didn't do anything? It's like, no, bitch, I didn't. No.
Well, a lot of it also depends on how you raise, right? Because at my core, like who I am at baseline without any influence, I'm Captain Saberhope. I am. But it's almost like you would tell me all the time, don't you be risking your life to save nobody. Your ass better come home. Don't have me on the news crying and shit.
Right.
So, you know, when I...
Mind your business.
Right, mind your business. So when I think about it that way, I'm like, would I help? I don't know. I don't know. You know, if I don't have anybody... if I don't have obligations for anybody of importance in my life, I would help, because it's just something I feel like I should do. You know, it would be something I feel like I should do. And if I didn't, I damn sure wouldn't be sitting through all of that all the time. I would just have to go work for somebody else.
And that's what he eventually did. He was employed for 2 years there, and he said he eventually quit because he didn't want to be a part of that whole situation.
Like, I would talk to Cassidy, be like, bitch, like... Wait.
Now, okay, well let me say this.
Depending on how that conversation went, depends on the action I would choose to take.
Let me say this to you. Someone, and I think Gene Deal tells this story. Someone tried to talk to Cassie. Cassie turned around and told Diddy. And then Diddy, then over the PA system in the house, not because I've heard this took a year or so ago. Diddy called the person up to the room, told the person, "Oh, what have you been telling my girl?" And he was just standing there like dumbfounded, like, you dumb bitch.
Now see,
she told it.
Now look, every time you be getting jumped on, I'd be over there in the corner like.
She told it. So see, you run the risk not only of losing your job, but you also run the risk of this wild person doing something to you. Exactly. Diddy's wild.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, no. Hell no. Yeah, look, I'm mad thinking about it. Like, look, you're right. Yeah, leave them alone. Just let them do their thing.
Look, like I was telling Cosmic the other day, I'd just be looking out of the window. Like I didn't hear nothing, didn't see nothing. I'd just be sitting there.
You're off.
I'm a mind my business, and if she'll get tired, She'll get tired, and when she does, she'll leave.
That's a shame.
She'll get tired. I'm not going to say nothing. Like I told Cosme, don't be trying to save nobody. If there's some stuff going down, you better get your ass out of there or stay out of it. Mind your business.
Yeah, that's what you always said.
Mind your business. But, and you know what? But
it's the truth, I mean, though. Because, see, you find yourself in a situation you're trying to help, and then she's going to go and run and tell Diddy. It's like, what?
Yep. So no, people who find themselves in this position, I'm sorry for you. And
look, I'll be all like, jump on it for me too the next time around, because
I hope you have the strength to leave. Only you can save you a lot of the time. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, we'll see. You know, Monday's a holiday, so they're not going to be in court on Monday. So on Tuesday, we'll have some new information. I just so wish it was televised. I so wish it was televised.
But they said they don't televise federal
Not in
cases.
Federal cases. But you guys, you know what? And like I told you guys before, there are so many cases against Diddy, so many John and Jane Does, and reading over the factual allegations, all of them have exactly the same tone. And when I tell you exactly Diddy,
and that's one thing that we heard Gene Dill say. That's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gene
Dill.
Dill, Gene, whatever. Dill Chess, whatever. He said that Diddy was ritualistic. You know, when it came to colors, temperatures, scents, music, the volume of the music, it all had to be a certain way every time. So when you say a lot of these cases are damn near the same story told over and over again, it makes sense considering everything that we know.
Him being ritualistic.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know. But I've said this in other videos. We'll say it again and again. I don't think this person needs to be out in society. I do not.
In the next 3 lifetimes.
So get him however you can, because he does not need to be out among the average person. He just doesn't. He's a predator and he's a criminal.
For all my witchy spiritual people out there, you know, let me know what you think about this whole situation. You know, I won't put any stipulations on it because I just want to hear what you think overall. For all of you that think that Cassie's completely responsible for everything that's happened, you know, let us know your opinion. And, you know, the other side, all of you who feel bad for Cassie and all the victims, you know, tap in, let us know what you guys think about the trial and what information do you have that we haven't heard. Do you have anything else?
That is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Please like, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye.